Okay, folks, welcome to BizGp podcast. This is R. N. Menon, your host. And today in our studio, we have Bill Spohn, the CEO and founder of TruTech Tools. Bill, welcome.
Thank you very much, Menon.
It's a
Glad to meet you.
So, Bill, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. Minor correction. I got involved with the founders of TruTech right around the time they started the business as an advisor.
Okay.
So I technically am not a founder, but I was there on day 2, more or less. But I give credit to Jim Bergman and his dad, also Jim, who founded the company in April of 2007. And I worked alongside them as advisor for about a year and a half and then came on full time in 2009. So my background is mechanical engineering, but always had a desire to run my own business. So I did little consulting things here and there along the way, and nothing really clicked until I looked at my career experience with heating, air conditioning, test and measurement products, and the business that Jim and his dad started. So I got involved as general manager, then became co-owner, and eventually became full owner over the course of the last few years.
Nice. So when did you become the full owner? What year?
He had a partner up through 2014, then changed partners, and then just in 2024 bought out that minority partner to be full owner as of October last year.
So you're the only owner of this company now.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about your role as the CEO. I think you're the CEO and president both, right?
Yeah. We use a management system called EOS, Entrepreneurial Operating System.
Mm-hmm.
We've been using it for about 3 years now. And so I'm the visionary.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So I kind of set the course, and I think the culture, that's the most important thing I recognize in the process, is paying attention to the people. And we address as a business 3 types of people, 3 groups. One group is our employees for sure, our customers for sure, but because we're a reseller, it's also our vendors and then other people in the industry. So we try to be in good communication with all 3 of those parties. And that's my role is to make sure things are being done in that manner and that we're following our core values and to encourage compliance in the EOS system, because I believe it's the solution for the way we should run the business. And I'm in full support of it, and I want everybody to support it, understand it.
Got it. And you run your meetings, etc., based on the EOS system.
Yeah, we actually have software called 90.io, and that's the number 90 spelled out. That is tremendous because it's our note taker, our note keeper. It's our idea, a place to park ideas. It's our timekeeper. It manages the agenda for all our meetings, cascades the messages. It takes full-time secretary work out of managing EOS. Otherwise, it can be a big burden for companies to just manage the information.
Nice. Is it like specifically designed for EOS?
100%. That's why it's 90.io, because of 90 as in the 90-day rocks.
Yeah, 90-day rocks. I understand. Okay, so in your industry, what are the trends you are seeing, and what kind of impact is it having on your business?
Sure. So one of the trends is the acceptance or embracing digital test tools versus the analog ones, which have been the tradition for so long. And I think from what I've seen in the last 20 years, there's this increasing adoption of the digital tools. And a lot of it's driven by the fact that they connect to an app, either in a phone or a tablet. And then you're sort of freed up to do something with the data after you're collecting it, or even as you're collecting it. Back maybe 6 or 7 years ago, there was one company making digital test tools, and now there are about 10. So, and traditional brands that used to make the analog type meters and tools have moved to digital tools and coming out with their own digital tools. The other trend I see is paying attention to process, like following good process for evacuating a system before you work on it, before you repair it, charging it correctly, charging to superheat or subcool, or weighing in a charge. So all these tools that allow you to do this job better, to document it, the process. And also, a lot of companies are now seeing that the way to save money on callbacks, because they're following checklists in these apps. And then a different trend that's going on right now, and this is just the last few months, is the tariffs, because a lot of the products have components that are fully made, 100% made overseas, especially in China, and that is really impacting the pricing. We're sort of in the middle of that. If our costs go up, our prices go up, but the end user is saddled with paying a higher price. And when they have to do that, there's some reluctance to buy. They're putting off purchases. Luckily, so far this year, fingers crossed, we have weathered it well. We've grown a lot this year, and not just by the price increase. We've grown due to impact and reach.
That's awesome. So I feel like tariffs hopefully will not be a long-term thing. Hopefully it should resolve soon.
But it's funny. So we're stuck in the middle of managing when somebody comes out with a price list on Monday, we have to put it in our system, and then on Wednesday they retract it, and on Friday they have a new one, and we're responsible for keeping both our costs and pricing accurate. So it's kind of crazy. One of our vendors saw it, and they had the financial wherewithal to bring in multiples of last year's inventory. So they stocked up before anything hit in January, and that way they could weather the storm however they wanted to.
Yes, you talked about digital, analog to digital, and you talked about tariffs. Any other industry trends that you are seeing?
We're seeing a lot of battery operated tools, and these are some of the hand tools that do things like manipulation of copper pipe. So it would be bending, flaring, swaging, cutting, and just the convenience of having a battery operated tool to save the kind of the handwork, and to produce a very uniform, high quality end result. Whether you're cutting, you're flaring, you're swaging, you're bending, tubing. If you use a machine, the results are more uniform. And using a battery operated machine, then it's very portable. You don't have to search for an outlet. You can carry it to a rooftop, carry it to a basement, to an attic, to a room, and then begin to immediately go to work.
Got it. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next question. If you remove the tariff from the equation, what is working well, what's frustrating?
From external or internal factors?
Both. Whatever comes in your mind in terms of like external, I think is tariffs, if you can just remove that. But anything else?
Nothing really frustrates me tremendously, I'll say. I think especially using EOS. I mean, I'm a big proponent. I just had lunch with somebody who wants me to coach his business on how they want to use EOS and how they can use it better. It just provides a lot of clarity, a lot of uniformity, good communication. I'll say one thing. When we first went into using it, I neglected to recognize that everybody wasn't on the same page in the company. The leadership team was on a different page, maybe even a different book.
Okay.
So in the fall of last year, I recognized that, and I've taken a personal mission to make sure to meet with all the different teams in the company, to provide training for them, but both offer external training, but also internal training from me. So they hear from my voice and saying, this is something I believe in, this is something I'm committed to, and I want you to commit to it too. I want you to understand it. So I think that was frustrating, but now I feel like I'm making some breakthroughs with people, and they're beginning really to see it the way I see it. It's part of our existence and part of our success is to be on the same page.
Got it. So that's more on the HR side. In terms of your revenue, give us an idea of what your main revenue source is, and where do you get those revenue sources from, and how are you increasing your revenue?
So our revenue source is mainly from selling tools and test instruments from our website. So it's TruTechTools.com, true without an E, TruTechTools. So we've had a website since 2007, since the company was founded. It was founded as e-commerce. We've never really had a brick and mortar store. We do get local customers coming in to pick up things, but they pick them up from our warehouse store. There's like no special. So we're a warehouse and then a front office to manage customer service, accounting, website, that kind of thing. So we literally buy products from a manufacturer. we bring them into stock, and then we resell them for stock. We're not a drop shipper. Very rarely are we drop shipping things. We say we like to control our destiny. So we actually show the inventory amount on our website. So one of my phrases to our staff is, we don't want to sell disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody didn't order something and said, well, I thought they had it in stock and I'm not getting it for a week. And then they get upset. So we just broadcasted, we have 7 in stock. If you need 6, we've got you covered. If you need 10, you're going to get 7 and wait on the 3, that kind of thing. And we also ship 7 days a week. I think that's an important aspect. Part of it was to relieve stress on Monday, because if you had orders from 3 p.m. on Friday all the way till 8 a.m. on Monday morning, that could be a lot of orders over the weekend.
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't be till Monday afternoon, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday that we caught up. So it was constantly a fuss. So we found employees who wanted to work on weekends, and we run a small staff to process orders. And actually, we have our carriers pick them up on the weekend. So somebody may order 7:30 on a Friday night, and it'll show up at 10 a.m. on Monday morning. So we're that close to being local anywhere in the U.S. 2-day delivery. We also offer free shipping. I think that's something people as consumers are used to.
Yes.
So I feel we have to adopt every good e-commerce habit that consumers are used to, and then excel in the technical aspects of describing the products, of showing the process, of connecting them with resources.
Mm-hmm.
So in that regard, we hired a full-time industry engagement manager. Most e-commerce companies wouldn't have this. His job is to understand our customers' needs and provide them with education, point them to resources, give presentations, do video shorts, write. We reviewed this morning a little technical, 1-page technical brief that'll be on our website, just to continue to help our customers. And all this is free of charge. Anybody can get the information, and we hope people recognize, if they buy from us, we can do more of that in the future.
So where are you right now, and where do you want to go in the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah. So again, going back to EOS, because it is at the core of our business,
Mm-hmm.
we do have what's called a VTO, Vision Traction Organizer. I'm actually pulling it up here on the side of my screen, but we have a 1-year plan, a 3-year projection, and a 10-year goal. So we're constantly looking at, if not once a year, sometimes twice a year, we look at those expanded factors, and then try to envision what it will look like, so we can prepare to have more space to stock inventory, have more people working on the weekends, have more different aspects to our website. So right now, last 12 months we're running about 30 million, which would be growth of about 2 million over last year. So we think that's easily achievable to hitting the 30 million mark. And in 10 years, we think we're going to hit probably about 42 million. That might actually be a little bit conservative. I think we might be able to go beyond that, but we tend to look at the short steps in front of us rather than driving towards a numerical. We actually, our goal is more towards customers served
Mm-hmm.
and orders shipped successfully. That's what our goal is. And then the financial aspect comes second.
Got it. I was going to ask you about the metrics here. So can you talk a little bit about your success metrics a little bit more in detail?
So we have company revenue that we have a 90-day goal on. We have a net profit revenue, orders shipped, AOV, average order value, which average order value times number of orders should equal our revenue for that quarter, and then number of customers obtained. Beyond that, sort of like a next level that leads to that, we have different metrics for each of the people on our leadership team that has to do with conversion rate on the website, the traffic that we measure through Google Analytics. From our sales side, we have the number of deals won over X dollar value. We look at actually all those weekly. Those are our KPIs. Sales of product income, new leads generated, and even like our line of credit balance, which gives us a real rough estimate. Are we into the line of credit or are we out of it? And then we also get sort of our cash position from our controller every week.
Nice. Talk a little bit more about your customers.
Sure. We have some apartment management firms that work with us. I think what they like is that um, if they own properties in multiple states or areas, they can look at our website and then don't have to send someone out shopping. Just say, buy this kit, go to this link, and then it's uniform. So when they bring people in for training, they're all working off a uniform set of tools. That's a benefit for them. We deal with a lot of smaller residential customers as well as larger ones. We have some small and medium ones that have been purchased by private equity, and they try to streamline operations, and then they look more towards the digital tools and towards a platform called MeasureQuick. Actually, the founder of the company, Jim Bergman, created this product that connects the digital tools to data collection, to data processing, to geotagging, just a tremendous amount of information that you can get. So we sell the tools, he has the software, and it works very symbiotically. Yeah, and I think even more so, there's more in the residential customer. So the homeowner or that kind of thing. So contractors that service those type of customers. So they're looking for customer retention, customer satisfaction, and we feel like combining good quality tools and a good process that will help you retain your customer base and improve your reputation in your area. What I'm saying is the individual, private, single-family homeowner who has an air conditioner that isn't working right now in the heat, they'll look for a contractor to come and repair their system, and that contractor hopefully will be using tools that we sell.
Got it. So those contractors are your customers, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I would say your property management isn't a big part of our business that I'm aware of. It's more about the companies that have the trucks on the road that say heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical. Fancy logos, not so fancy logos, have billboards at the highway. Those are our customers.
Got it. And how are you constantly trying to find new customers, as well as striking a balance between serving those who are already there?
So we pay a lot for Google and Bing advertising, and we have that professionally managed. So if a contractor technician is looking for a certain kind of product, we try to get our ad up there near the top. We also have very good SEO, so the descriptions on our website, those papers and technical documents I talk about are often referenced by Google. So we've built it up over the course of nearly 20 years now of having good content. So we're a trusted source. We do have a reviews process there, where we have 4.6 to 4.8 on all the different review systems. So if somebody does see us pop up and they want to learn more, they can take a look at our reviews. We monitor those very closely, make sure if there's any poor reviews, we get to the bottom of it, and solve it. And we consider that a blessing of direction of what to do to continue to serve our customers. We also have tremendous word of mouth from nearly 20 years in business. And we're also somewhat unique in that you won't find a lot of e-commerce customers having an industry engagement manager going to a technical forum and giving several presentations. So we preach to our customer base, and we get involved with the other preachers, other people doing that work. We also have about a dozen influencers, people that we know share great information. Some of them are paid. Some of them do it just because they like us. They talk about us. They offer discount codes, things like that. So I say we're woven into the fabric of the market pretty tightly.
Nice. So in terms of your revenue, talk a little bit about like what your growth is in terms of how many customers are coming in. Let's say year to year, is there a growth chart that you have that you target?
Our growth has been pretty steady over the years, around it's single digit to high single digit percentage. But the thing is, then we have a tail of those customers we've taken care of, so they come back and they buy again. So Some of them are repeat customers.
Mhm.
I guess I will go back. I'll jump back and say one of the frustrating things about acquisition cost is a customer that knows us, has bought from us, may still go and click on an ad.
Yes,
And then we pay for the ad again. That's one frustration I have, and I have no way of figuring out how to correct that. Well, actually, I do have a way, but I'm not going to say what it is.
okay, cool. And you mentioned Google and Bing ads. Is there anything else that you guys do? And what is the percentage? So what's your biggest source in the percentage? Just
It's
give us a
direct.
breakdown.
It's direct now. Yeah.
Oh, from the website. So it's SEO basically.
Right. Yeah. So it's either SEO or it's previous knowledge or it's a little bit of referral. We do also text marketing and we do email marketing, and we are on all the major social media platforms. And we also my industry engagement manager and I do a podcast. So we did we've done over 200, we're on, I think 219 podcasts now since 2017, and we inviting guests and basically share that for free. Put it on YouTube, all the major podcast services, Apple, Google, everything.
Nice. That's cool. I don't remember the name of the podcast. What is it again?
It's called Building HVAC Science.
Yes, I
So
remember.
that's an entree for. We also do tools that help you measure the factors of building science. And building science is sort of the energy exchange that a building or house would have, the outdoors, the conditions, uh, temperature, humidity, airflow, that kind of thing, solar gain. So we have tools that allow you to illustrate that. And the name is because my passion for years is to get these two fields united for residential, understand the building, and put the right size system in the center. So the HVAC is in the center of our name. Building science, HVAC in the center.
Nice name.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Uh, One last question, if I may. If there is one area of your business that is your major challenge, is that you would love to solve?
I think we actually hired a consultant at the end of 2023 to help us understand like where we needed to be with modern systems. And I was just thinking the other day, we've checked all the boxes and followed all the advice. A modern platform to build our website on, switching to Microsoft Office. We were both in Google and Microsoft, and also installing a CRM and connecting the CRM with our phone system. So that now one of my other things that I talk about, try to put in place, is spend money to make it easy for us to serve customers by presenting us all the information, so that your mind isn't looking for information. Your mind is, how can I serve this person? Thinking about creative ways. So we don't want people digging for information. We want information presented and then use the human touch to serve the customer.
Nice. Have you looked at AI at all? As you know, are you in touch with that? I know that it's running like a breakneck speed, right? Nobody's really up to it. But talk a little bit about how you plan to use AI.
We have AI running in our chat to do a little bit of filtering.
Got it.
Beforehand. And we're also in different departments using it for data collection, decision making, analysis, that kind of thing. We haven't unleashed it, at our customers yet, but we use it more for business.
Got it. And once you have a lead from website, for example, right? Do you have a sense of like how many leads are lost by they just come in and they just go? Do you have any sense of that?
So
is that something that you measure?
Yeah, we do. So that's the conversion rate. So our conversion rate is under 2%, which sounds really pretty scary, but it's pretty typical for e-commerce, like in the 2 to 6% range. Ours is kind of low because some of our products, we think that like some of our people are shopping when they're working and they're not ready to buy, and then they come back and shop again later. So we do measure the conversion rate. And I was trying to think, what's the second part of that question?
No, I just wanted to see like how many customers are you I guess in theory losing out, right? Like, can you increase the conversion rate through and in
Well,
terms of
yeah, I mean, yeah, so we're losing 98% of them, but that's pretty typical.
that is the standard?
Because somebody may land on our site and we sell refrigerant hoses and they were looking for a garden hose.
Got it. Yeah,
So they bounce, and that, if they get too far in, then they bounce. We don't really have leads. We close about 85% of our business without talking to the customer. It's all done self-service.
nice, nice. That's awesome. So what is the 15% where you have to talk to the customer?
Some of it is purchase orders, larger companies. Some of it is somebody checking on a detail for the product, on availability. They want to make sure. Sometimes they aren't familiar with us. They just want to make sure we're a real company.
Mm-hmm.
And then usually we impress them because we answer the phone with a real warm voice and with knowledgeable. We're doing constant training with our customer service staff, both on business practices as well as technical aspects, so that they know what we do and then where to direct the customer to get what they need.
That's awesome. So, Bill, is there anything else that you want to talk about your company or anything else that I may have missed out on?
One other thing is, so I've been working in this industry for about 35 years, and it came to the point where my wife and I decided we were going to build our forever home. So we built the home using all the aspects that I learned over the years. And we actually have a website for the house. It's my last name plus home.com. So spohnhome.com. And what we achieved is a house that was actually 4 modules were built in a factory and then connected together. And between that and the solar array that we have, we are net zero energy. So we haven't actually paid an electric bill. We're all electric heating, cooling, EV charging, everything. There's water heating. There's no gas on site. There's no gas pipeline on site.
Awesome. I'm looking at it right now. It looks really nice. So this is in Pennsylvania?
Correct. Pittsburgh. Yep.
Pittsburgh. Okay. That's awesome. So, well, that's good to know. So you are actually using a bunch of things that you've learned and you have created a
Exactly. Yeah. So then I feel very confident talking about them. Sometimes I give presentations, and I call the presentation "Living Inside My Theories." Literally, I live inside my theories.
Yeah, this home is literally, yeah, you are living inside.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. All right, cool. Hey, it was a pleasure talking to you, Bill. I think you come across as like an extremely uh, gentle and an extremely wise person to me. And
Thank
you
you.
seem to have, and you are using EOS. That itself is like, 90% of the problems are if you use it well.
Right.
That's one of the best systems to use. So congratulations on all your success, and thank you for coming over.
Thank you. You too.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.